Crab Champions has taken the gaming industry by storm ever since it hit early access exactly 1 week ago to the day. Many massive creators have played it like Moist Critical, Lyric, Lupo, Woolly Gaming, Seer, Will Neff, the list goes on and on. Over 3,000 overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam, but if you're anything like me, when I first picked up the game at the beginning of the beta, you're probably a little bit lost and don't understand why the game is so damn hard. After over 200 hours in this game, combining their closed beta and now early access, I'm pretty good at it. So here are 5 tips on how to rapidly increase your abilities and increase the length of your runs in Crab Champions. Let's get down to the brass tacks. First things first, get over yourself, you cocky sons of bitches. This game is hard. It is supposed to be hard. Or at least, that's what noisestorm is going for here with Crab Champions. Easy feels like normal, normal feels like hard, and Nightmare feels like Halo 2 Legendary Campaign. This game is not easy, plain and simple. And just like Call of Duty, Fortnite, or literally any other game, including other roguelikes, you're gonna have to put in some hours to get used to everything. The enemies and their attack patterns, the island layouts, the weapons and the item synergies between everything. It just takes time. You should not come into it expecting to win, and you will not go into it winning from the beginning. So just take a step back, breathe it all in, enjoy the banger soundtrack, and just enjoy it, okay? Second big point and tip, scaling in this game is not linear, it is exponential. That means that it increases at an increasing rate. If you do a basic XY graph, it's not a diagonal line up, it's a curve, and it shoots up very fast. You will need to increase your damage per second. That's all there is to it. And this will come with repetition. Like I mentioned in the first tip, you're gonna have to get used to the items and figure out which ones you like. But you have to increase your damage, or you have to increase your rate of fire, or both, ideally, to get your DPS as high as humanly possible. If you do not, the game will outscale you, and this is especially true on Nightmare, and it's even true on Normal. Even within the first 30 islands, a basic run, no looping, you will still get outscaled and struggle and probably lose on the final boss. Get your damage per second up. This third point kind of ties into the second point and is a little contradictory, so just hear me out. Economy builds are the most important at the beginning. I know, I just said get your damage per second up, but it is always more consistent and more reliable to just purchase what you want in the shop than it is to cross your fingers and hope that RNGesus is on your side with your reward chests. The single best item to get in your Island 1 or Island 2 reward chest is called Paycheck. It is a flat lump sum payment of crystals after each island, and as you scale it, it scales up. Right now it starts at 250, then goes to 500, 750, etc. This is your best friend and you want to get it early, because at the end of the day, you can make it to the shops and just buy out the shop. It is nuts. You will not be able to scale as effectively as you want and as effectively as some of the clips that you've probably seen on the internet if you do not have an economy build going on. The one exception is in co-op, because you can build craft, you can drop things for your friends can drop things for you, your friends can buy things for you, etc. So you don't need to all run economy. You can have one or two, being a sugar daddy, a glucose grandpa, and you can get it going that way as well. Tip number 4, this one is pretty slept on, salvaging. You should be using the salvage mechanic. It's in there for a reason. What you get in a chest, that's calculated at the time of opening the chest based on what you currently have in your inventory. If you're looking for duplicates of rapid fire and you've got a bunch of 10 other things that have nothing to do with fire rate, stop holding on to them. Salvage them, then open the chest. You'll probably get their rapid fire related mods. That being said, small asterisk, salvaged items are worth more crystals the further along you go into a run. Are you on Island 3? Maybe you don't salvage until you get to the shop on Island 5. You'll get a few extra crystals, and it all adds up at the end of the day. Finally, and last but not least, and certainly the most important tip on this list, SHMOVEMENT is key. SHMOVEMENT is key. Did I blow out your eardrums? Have you recovered? None of what I've talked about at the beginning of this video matters at all if your movement is dog shit. You cannot sit there and walk slowly or scuttle around the map slowly and expect to be able to make it far in a run or even get to the final boss on normal. Enemy projectiles will hit you. You have to be constantly sliding and dashing. Dashing is the double jump, right? I mean, your pinky finger, which is assumably doing the sliding, and your thumb, assumably doing the dashing, this is on KBM of course, should probably be tired at the end of a long run. And if it's not, you're not spamming these abilities enough. You should be consistently moving. You have to use cover and you have to move around. I'm seeing so many new players, and hey, hands up, I did the same thing. Normal shooters, you don't have to be constantly sprinting around. But in this game, you kind of have to. You just have to. Slow motion aiming, you know, when you jump in midair and aim, as long as it's not a dual wield weapon, there's only 2 of those, so the other 10, when you aim in midair, little slow-mo effect. This can be used to throw off enemy projectiles, and that goes hand in hand with the SHMOVEMENT. Slide, double jump, peek around the corner, slow motion aim. They miss you. Get a couple shots in. Keep rotating. Memorize the island layouts and SHMOVE around the perimeter of the islands. It is the only real thing that will guarantee your survival. You can always outlast a fight and go forever if you have good movement. You can have low damage and take 10 minutes to kill the final boss, but you can still do it if you're avoiding their attacks. You can also, on the opposite side of that coin, have a crazy high damage, but if you just sit there and get hit by the boss's final attacks, you're done. Okay? Obviously, there's health builds that can negate some of these things, but for the most part, movement is the single most important part of this game. Alright, so if you found this video helpful, please consider subscribing to the channel, like the video, and hey, check out the Twitch streams. I'm streaming over there really consistently now that the game is finally public. And be on the lookout for some more amazing Crab Champions content in the future. Bye-bye.